Good evening, everyone. Let me ask you something. How can you pour into someone else's cup when your own is empty? How can you climb the mountain of success when the foundation you're standing on is shaky? Self-love is that foundation. It's not about being perfect. It's about knowing your worth, owning your truth, and understanding that you are enough just as you are. Tonight, we're going to dive into what it really means to love yourself and how that love can transform not just your life, but the lives of everyone around you. Self-love is the cornerstone of achieving greatness. It's not just a trendy concept or a nice-to-have sentiment. It's the foundation upon which every aspect of your life is built. Without it, you're building castles in the sand, structures that won't withstand the storms of life. Loving yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. Because when you truly love and value yourself, you unlock the potential to give your best to the world. You can't pour into others if your own cup is empty. You can't inspire others if your own light is dim. You can't build a legacy if you don't first believe in the value of the person you see in the mirror. Think about it. Every successful endeavor, every meaningful relationship, every significant achievement starts with a decision to believe in your worth. Yet, how often do we neglect this most fundamental truth? We hustle, we grind, we chase after dreams, validation, and approval. But at the end of the day, if we don't feel whole within ourselves, none of it truly satisfies. Success without self-love is a hollow victory. It's like climbing to the top of a mountain, only to realize you left your joy, peace, and purpose at the bottom. Self-love doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you embrace yourself as you are, flaws and all. It's about showing yourself the same grace and compassion that you so freely give to others. Think of the people you admire, the mentors, the leaders, the loved ones who inspire you. What do they all have in common? They exude a sense of confidence and inner peace that comes from loving and valuing themselves. That energy is magnetic, and it's something you can cultivate within yourself. But it starts with a decision to stop tearing yourself down and start building yourself up. Loving yourself means taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. It means saying no to things that drain your energy and yes to things that uplift your spirit. It means setting boundaries, not because you're shutting people out, but because you're protecting your space to grow. It means silencing the inner critic that tells you you're not good enough and replacing it with a voice of encouragement and affirmation. Imagine what your life would look like if you spoke to yourself with the same kindness and encouragement you give to a friend. Imagine the mountains you could move if you truly believed you deserve to succeed. This isn't about ego or arrogance. It's about recognizing that you have value simply because you exist. You don't have to prove your worth to anyone. You don't have to achieve more, do more, or be more to earn the right to love yourself. Your worth is inherent. And when you embrace that truth, you begin to operate from a place of abundance rather than lack. You stop seeking validation from external sources and start finding it within. You stop chasing after things to fill a void and start building a life that reflects your authentic self. When you love yourself, you show up differently in the world. You set higher standards for what you'll accept in your life. You attract better relationships because you're no longer willing to settle for anything less than you deserve. You take bolder risks because you trust yourself to handle whatever comes your way. And most importantly, you give yourself permission to fail, to learn, and to grow. Because self-love isn't about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about honoring your journey, embracing your uniqueness, and celebrating your progress, no matter how small. So let me ask you again, how can you pour into someone else's cup when your own is empty? How can you give your best to the world if you're not first giving your best to yourself? Loving yourself isn't just a foundation of success, it's the foundation of everything. And when you lay that foundation strong and deep, there's no limit to what you can build upon it. Overcoming doubt is one of the greatest battles we face in life. Those nagging voices, both internal and external, that tell us we're not enough, not capable, not worthy, they can be relentless. But here's the truth, those voices are liars. They don't define you, and they don't determine your destiny. Learning to silence doubt isn't just a skill, it's a necessity if you're going to step into the greatness that's waiting for you. Doubt often sneaks in when we're about to step out of our comfort zones. It whispers in the back of our minds, what if you fail? What if you're not as good as you think you are? What will people say? And too often, we let those whispers turn into chains that hold us back. But here's the thing, doubt only has power if you listen to it. It thrives on fear, and the best way to defeat fear is with action. Every time you take a step forward, despite the doubt, you weaken its grip. You prove to yourself that you're stronger than the fear, braver than the voice in your head, and more capable than you ever realized. Sometimes, doubt comes from outside sources, people who tell you your dreams are unrealistic or your goals are too big. They might mean well, but their words can plant seeds of insecurity if you let them. It's important to recognize that these doubts often come from their own fears and limitations, not yours. Don't let someone else's inability to see your vision dim your light. Your journey is yours, and you don't need anyone else's permission to pursue it. Protect your dreams fiercely, because they are the blueprint for your purpose. The most dangerous doubts, though, are the ones we carry inside ourselves. They're the result of past failures, mistakes, or setbacks that we've allowed to define us. Maybe you tried something before, and it didn't work out, so now you hesitate to try again. Maybe someone you trusted made you feel small, and you started believing their words. But let me tell you something, failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. Every great success story is built on a foundation of lessons learned from failure. Doubt feeds on the fear of failure, but if you shift your mindset and see failure as feedback, you rob doubt of its power. Overcoming doubt requires a commitment to building your confidence. And confidence isn't about knowing all the answers or never making mistakes, it's about trusting yourself to figure things out as you go. It's about reminding yourself of the times you've faced challenges and come out stronger on the other side. Confidence grows every time you prove to yourself that you're capable, even in small ways. Celebrate those wins, no matter how minor they seem. They're evidence that you're moving forward, and every step forward is a step away from doubt. Another powerful tool for silencing doubt is self-awareness. Pay attention to the stories you're telling yourself. When doubt starts to creep in, ask yourself, is this thought helping me or holding me back? Challenge those negative narratives. Replace "I can't" with "I can learn." Replace "I'm not good enough" with "I'm growing every day." Your words matter, especially the ones you say to yourself. Speak life over your dreams, not fear. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, people who lift you up and remind you of your potential when you forget. Doubt loves isolation, so don't give it the space to grow. Lean on your support system, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Sometimes just hearing someone else say, "You've got this," is enough to quiet the noise in your head. At the end of the day, overcoming doubt isn't about eliminating it completely. Doubt may always try to make an appearance, but it doesn't have to drive the car. You have the power to choose what you focus on. Focus on your strengths, your progress, and your vision. Focus on the reasons why you started and the dreams that light a fire in your soul. Doubt might knock at the door, but you don't have to let it in. Every time you choose faith over fear, belief over insecurity, and action over hesitation, you take a step closer to the life you were meant to live. Loving yourself means holding yourself accountable to your highest potential and striving for constant growth. It's not just about treating yourself kindly, it's about expecting more from yourself because you know you're capable of greatness. Self-love is not complacency. It's a commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. It's about understanding that while you are enough as you are, there's always room to grow, to learn, and to improve. Accountability is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, and it begins with being honest with yourself. When you truly love yourself, you don't allow excuses to hold you back. You recognize that excuses are just barriers you've built to shield yourself from discomfort. Growth is uncomfortable, but it's also necessary. The goals you dream of, the life you envision, the success you crave, they all require you to step out of your comfort zone. And self-love means trusting yourself enough to take that step, even when it's hard, even when it's scary, even when you're unsure of what lies ahead. Accountability is about taking ownership of your choices, your actions, and your results. It's easy to blame external circumstances for why things aren't going the way you want, but true self-love means taking a hard look in the mirror and asking, what can I do differently? It's about acknowledging your role in your journey and refusing to let yourself off the hook. This isn't about being harsh or critical, it's about being real with yourself. It's about saying, I owe it to myself to show up, to put in the work, and to give my best effort. Growth doesn't happen by accident, it's intentional. It's waking up each day and deciding that you're going to push a little harder, stretch a little further, and aim a little higher. It's about setting goals that challenge you, goals that make you uncomfortable, because they force you to grow. But setting goals isn't enough, you have to hold yourself accountable to them. That means tracking your progress, staying disciplined, and being willing to adjust your approach when necessary. It's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. Self-love and growth go hand in hand. Because when you love yourself, you believe you're worth the effort it takes to grow. You stop settling for mediocrity because you know you deserve more. You stop accepting less than your best because you know what you're capable of. And when you fall short, as we all do, you don't beat yourself up. Instead, you learn from it. You take the lesson, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. That's what accountability looks like in action. It's resilience, it's determination, and it's a deep respect for the person you're becoming. Holding yourself accountable also means surrounding yourself with people who will challenge you to grow. People who will call you out when you're slacking and cheer you on when you're making progress. Self-love isn't about doing it all alone, it's about creating an environment that supports your growth. That might mean seeking out mentors, joining a community of like-minded individuals, or simply having friends who encourage you to be your best. Accountability isn't just something you give yourself, it's something you can invite others to help you with. It's also important to celebrate your progress along the way. Too often, we get so focused on the end goal that we forget to acknowledge how far we've come. Loving yourself means taking time to recognize your achievements, no matter how small they might seem. Each step forward is a testament to your commitment, your effort, and your growth. And when you celebrate those wins, you reinforce the belief that you're capable of achieving even more. At its core, self-love is about showing up for yourself, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, and even when no one else is watching. It's about holding yourself to a higher standard because you know you're worth it. It's about refusing to settle, refusing to make excuses, and refusing to let anything hold you back. Growth is a journey, not a destination, and self-love is what keeps you moving forward, one step at a time, toward the incredible potential that lies within you. Self-love is not about avoiding failure or shielding yourself from life's challenges. It's about resilience, the ability to rise again after falling, to push forward when everything feels like it's pulling you back, and to hold on to hope even in the darkest moments. Resilience is the heartbeat of self-love because it shows that you value yourself enough to keep fighting, keep striving, and keep believing in your potential, no matter how many setbacks you face. True self-love embraces failure as part of the journey, understanding that every stumble is a stepping stone to something greater. Life will knock you down, that's inevitable. But loving yourself means refusing to stay down. It means acknowledging that failure isn't the end of the road, it's a detour, a lesson, an opportunity to grow stronger. Think about anyone who has achieved greatness. Their stories are not free of failure. In fact, failure often plays a starring role. The difference is they didn't let those failures define them. They used them as fuel, as motivation to keep going, to learn, to adapt, and to come back even stronger. Resilience starts with mindset. When you love yourself, you develop the inner strength to face challenges head-on. You stop seeing failure as a reflection of your worth and start seeing it as a natural part of growth. Failure doesn't mean you're not good enough, it means you're human. It means you tried. And every time you try, you gain experience, knowledge, and courage. You start to realize that failure is not something to fear, it's something to embrace. It's evidence that you're pushing yourself, stretching your limits, and daring to step outside your comfort zone. Loving yourself also means giving yourself permission to fail. It's about letting go of the pressure to be perfect and understanding that mistakes are part of the process. When you approach life with this mindset, you stop being paralyzed by the fear of getting it wrong. Instead, you take risks, you explore opportunities, and you chase after your dreams with courage. You know that even if you fall, you'll get back up because your love for yourself is stronger than any temporary setback. Resilience is also about how you respond to failure. Do you let it defeat you, or do you let it drive you? Do you wallow in self-pity, or do you pick yourself up and try again? Self-love means choosing the latter. It means refusing to give up on yourself, no matter how hard things get. It's about learning to trust yourself, to believe in your ability to overcome, and to keep moving forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. One of the most powerful ways to build resilience is by focusing on the lessons hidden within every failure. When things don't go as planned, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? What will I do differently next time? Loving yourself means taking responsibility for your growth and using every experience, good or bad, as an opportunity to become better. It's about seeing setbacks as setups for comebacks, as moments that test your strength and build your character. Self-love and resilience go hand in hand because resilience isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. It's about coming out of every challenge stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. When you love yourself, you don't just endure hardships, you transform them. You take the pain, the disappointment, and the struggle, and you turn them into power. You use them to fuel your journey, to sharpen your focus, and to remind yourself of just how strong you are. Resilience also requires patience and compassion for yourself. There will be days when you feel like giving up, days when the weight of the world feels unbearable. On those days, self-love means giving yourself grace. It means allowing yourself to rest, to heal, and to recharge. Resilience doesn't mean you never feel pain, it means you don't let the pain stop you. It means you honor your feelings, but you don't let them dictate your future. Ultimately, self-love gives you the courage to keep going, no matter what. It reminds you that you are worthy, capable, and deserving of success, even in the face of failure. It's the voice that says, you've got this even when everything else feels uncertain. Resilience is a testament to your self-love, because it proves that you believe in yourself enough to keep trying, keep growing, and keep reaching for the life you deserve. With every step you take, no matter how small, you're building a foundation of strength that can weather any storm. That is the power of self-love in action. When you truly love yourself, something extraordinary happens, you shine. You radiate a kind of energy that's magnetic, inspiring, and contagious. This light, this confidence, this authenticity becomes a beacon, drawing others toward you and encouraging them to find their own light. Self-love is not just about personal growth, it's about creating a ripple effect that impacts the people around you. When you love yourself deeply and unapologetically, you give others permission to do the same. The first step in inspiring others through self-love is to embody it authentically. People can sense when your confidence is genuine versus when it's a mask. When you embrace who you are, flaws and all, you send a powerful message. It's okay to be human. It's okay to be imperfect. You inspire others by showing them that self-love isn't about being flawless, it's about being real. It's about owning your journey, your struggles, and your victories. When people see you standing tall to your truth, they start to believe they can do the same. Loving yourself also means showing up in the world as your best self. It's about pursuing your goals, living your values, and honoring your potential. This isn't about bragging or trying to impress others. It's about leading by example. Your actions speak louder than words. When others see you working hard, staying disciplined, and staying true to yourself, they can't help but feel inspired. They start to wonder, if they can do it, why can't I? Your journey becomes a source of motivation for those who are watching, whether they tell you or not. One of the most powerful ways self-love inspires others is through the relationships you build. When you love yourself, you set higher standards for how you're treated, you communicate your boundaries with clarity and respect, and you surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. This creates a positive ripple effect. The people in your life begin to see the strength in your boundaries and the value of mutual respect. You teach others, by example, how to value themselves and demand the same respect in their own lives. Self-love also fuels generosity and kindness. When your own cup is full, you have so much more to give. You can support others without feeling depleted, uplift others without feeling overshadowed, and celebrate others without feeling envious. Your love for yourself becomes the foundation for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. People feel that energy, that positivity, and they're drawn to it. They see that your kindness comes from a place of abundance, not obligation, and it encourages them to adopt the same mindset. Another way self-love inspires others is by fostering resilience and courage. When people see you face challenges with grace, bounce back from setbacks, and keep pushing forward despite obstacles, it reminds them that they can do the same. You become a living example of what's possible when you refuse to give up on yourself. Your resilience sparks resilience in others. Your courage ignites courage in others. You might not even realize how many people you're impacting simply by choosing to persevere. Perhaps the most beautiful way self-love inspires others is through authenticity. When you show up as your true self, unapologetically and wholeheartedly, you create a space for others to do the same. In a world that often pressures us to conform, your authenticity is a breath of fresh air. It reminds people that they don't have to fit into a mold to be worthy of love and success. Your willingness to be vulnerable, to be yourself, is a gift to everyone around you. Inspiring others through self-love doesn't require grand gestures or a stage to stand on. It's in the everyday moments, the way you carry yourself, the way you speak to yourself, the way you treat others. It's in the quiet confidence that says, I know who I am, and I'm proud of it. It's in the compassion you extend to yourself and others. It's in the joy you radiate when you're at peace with who you are. When you love yourself, you light up the world around you. Your energy becomes a source of inspiration, encouraging others to see their own worth, embrace their own journeys, and believe in their own potential. Self-love isn't just a gift to yourself, it's a gift to everyone you encounter. It creates a ripple effect of positivity, growth, and empowerment that can transform lives, including your own. By loving yourself, you become a catalyst for change, a beacon of hope, and a reminder to the world that greatness starts from within.